Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Brew Jackets. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed podcast. My name is Kevin, and joining me tonight is my co-host Hefty Duck. And as always, we invite people to come on the show, and if they come, that's okay. If not, there's always next time. Anyways, on today's show, we're going to talk about some of our favorite ZACH WERENSKI moments from this past season. So we're going to do that. Talk about some of our favorite ZACH WERENSKI moments. There was an article written recently by Union and Blue on Twitter and Facebook that I really liked, and we're going to talk about it. Basically, how did the Blue Jackets coming to Columbus make Columbus better? We got some jersey concepts and so much more. A lot of stuff to talk about, even in a summer show, because that's just how it is. That's how we do it. But that's besides the point. But anyways, welcome to the show, everyone. Let's get going.
Welcome in, everyone. Thanks for joining us. If you're, watching us on X or Twitter, then give us a follow. If you would, like and share. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget check out our bam, there it is. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can see the banner down there as well. Check it out.
Yeah.
So
like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'm going to say it now, and I'll say it at the end of the show. Check out the next Union Blue Soldiers March on October 13th. So check that out. But anyways.
So we only really have like a couple things on the news ends of things, as opposed. So we'll get to our deep discussion on nationwide in the arena district here soon. So happy birthday, Zach Aston Reese. I should have probably looked how old he's turning. But what did you say?
I bet it's
31. 31. Happy birthday to you, man. I hope you have a good one. And this is the last month without any sort of hockey. Regular season doesn't start until October, but we'll see some preseason hockey. We'll see some training camps coming up here for too long. And August is the last month, right, without hockey?
Yep.
So we get a little bit here coming in September. So things will be heating up near the end of the month and towards next month as well. That's about it on the news end of things.
Yeah. I like to start it off like that with this. Read this in an article recently. Of course, 21 Pilots. They're from Columbus, band that makes good music, and they're big Blue Jackets fans. And they played at the Blue Jackets outdoor game. You can tell that's the lead singer, Tyler Joseph, and there's the drummer, the drummer, Josh Dunn. And why I bring this up is I recently read an article that Aaron Portzline did around the time the Blue Jackets outdoor game happened, and he was talking to the drummer of 21 Pilots, Josh Dunn, and about how the whole idea of 21 Pilots playing at the Blue Jackets outdoor game, how did that come about? And it's a very interesting article. The NHL approached them, and they worked something out. They're able to do it. But what made this even more interesting for me is that 21 Pilots at that time was doing a tour in Mexico. And then they quickly flew back to Columbus to do the show at the Blue Jackets outdoor game. and they finished up their tour in Mexico. Just to show you.
That's crazy.
Yes.
It was probably really nice and warm down there. It was probably hella cold up here.
Oh, yes. The Blue Jackets outdoor game at Ohio State was ridiculously cold. I was there. It was really fun, but it was so god awful cold. The coldest I've ever been at a sporting event. It was just like, wow. It was the wind. The wind, that's what made it the issue. Because as soon as the wind went away, you're at the game, it's fine, but you're really cold. So for 21 Pilots, you're doing a tour in Mexico, and then you stop that, you fly up to Columbus to do a show, which wasn't even 10 minutes. You played like little bits and pieces of 3 different songs, and you mashed them into like one concert, and yet you still did it, and it was awesome. It just, to me, shows how much that they really like, coming back to Columbus where they're from and playing shows there, and they're big Blue Jackets fans. That's essentially, I'm paraphrasing it, but that's essentially the idea of the article. As soon as they heard that they could have the chance to play a show in Columbus at Ohio State where the Blue Jackets are playing, they took that because they're real big Columbus people. They like the Blue Jackets, and they took it. And that's why I wanted to start off with this, is that's real dedication right there, because you were doing a tour in Mexico, and then you stopped doing that. You flew up to Columbus to do a little mini concert at the Blue Jackets outdoor game, and then you went back down to Mexico to finish your tour. I think that's just awesome. But anyways.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Rockstar life, it's gotta be rough sometimes.
But shout out to you, 21 Pilots. It's cool that we have a band that makes good music like you, that's from Columbus, that are big Blue Jackets fans. I really do like that we can point to, hey, these guys are from Columbus and they like the Blue Jackets and they're famous. So that's cool. So next up, I'd like to show this off before we get to one of our big main things. This recently popped up is that New Era, the hat company, is basically, they're doing a different style. It's like a hat series for like all the teams, and this is the Blue Jackets one.
That's sick. I love 5950. I have actually quite a few of their hats. Nope, that's a different one.
Yeah.
Oh well. I'll show off my hat collection one day.
Yeah. So as you can see, it's a C. It's the letter C, and it's got a cannon.
That's sick.
I like that.
That's gonna have to be a new one.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I generally like black hats, but I'll wear a blue one for the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, right. And then even they got the cannon logo on the side. Like, I like this. This is a cool hat.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah. All right.
All it needs is a stinger patch on the other side.
No. There is no stinger patch. They did not do that. So on to the next thing that we're gonna talk about, which is this. So recently there was an article done by Union and Blue, a Blue Jackets themed fan account on Facebook and Twitter, and they also have their own website. They write about the Blue Jackets. They do some good stuff. They recently did an article about how Nationwide Arena and just the arena district in general changed Columbus for the better. And it's subjectively true. We're going to read the article. We're going to talk about it and just how much did the Blue Jackets coming to Columbus change Columbus. And it's a good article, so we're going to read it. So it says, while on the ice results have really been up to par, one thing is not debatable when talking about 25 years of NHL hockey in Central Ohio. The Nationwide Arena District is one of the best places to experience a game in the entire league. In fact, one of the best entertainment districts in the entire country, regardless the sport. Nationwide Arena may be aging, but it's still very near the top of the list of best buildings in the entire NHL. It has great sight lines and is truly a bad seat, and there truly isn't a bad seat in the house. It's loud. We got one of the best concourses I've ever seen and a fantastic club level. The building itself is nothing short of remarkable. What it's done for the surrounding area has been incredible to see. This wasn't always a nice part of Columbus. As a kid, I grew up not too far from here in the Italian Village and Short North districts, not too far where Nationwide Arena is right now. The elementary school I went to sits less than a mile away from Nationwide. Believe me when I tell you this area was not the same trendy place it is now 30 years ago. Before the Blue Jackets were ever dreamt up, what is now the Arena District was one of the biggest eyesores in Columbus. The site was home to the Ohio Penitentiary, a crumbling relic of a bygone past. It was a dangerous area fenced off to keep anyone from entering and getting hurt. More than anything, it was wasted space that desperately needed to be overhauled to help the city turn a new direction towards the future. It would have been hard to call this heart of, in quotations, of downtown, but it wasn't far off. Across the street from the site stands Nationwide Plaza, home to one of the tallest buildings in Columbus. Just down the street, the city had a new convention center to show off. The area was begging for something special on the site of the old Penn, but I'm not sure anyone expected the new arena or the Blue Jackets to become so important. When the referendum was for a new arena was turned down, the late John H. McConnell pivoted and told NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman that an arena would still be built. Nationwide, as in Nationwide Insurance, stepped in, and the rest is history. A quarter of a century later, after building the arena, the entire area looks nothing like it did in the late 90s. The neighborhood surrounding the arena has become the top entertainment destination in Central Ohio. It's now home to two other professional sports venues, Lower.com Field, home of the Crew, and Huntington Park, the new home of the Clippers. There's now a concert venue, a park, several restaurants, and of course, the R Bar. All hail the R Bar. Great place to go to before a Blue Jackets game. You can head to the Arena District any night of the week and find something to do there, even if there aren't any games to be seen. However, if you go down there when there's a game going on, the area comes alive. When the Blue Jackets are home, the buzz around Nationwide Arena is something you have to see to appreciate. You can head down early, grab a meal, explore the area, have a drink, and mingle with other fans. You don't even need a ticket to enjoy the festivities, though it's better if you do. The Arena District has reshaped downtown Columbus into a place that people want to visit. It meant more to the city than anyone might have guessed when the original referendum was voted down. Now, there's just there's just one thing left to do. ... The only thing missing, a winning tradition. The Blue Jackets have yet to really take advantage of what could be a magical place that only have a few playoff visits in their history with just 2 series wins to show for it. They beat Toronto, Tampa Bay, and Toronto. So I got to call them out there. This is the only thing keeping Nationwide from gaining the national attention it deserves. Imagine a playoff run lasting into May, or really dreaming mid-June. The plaza outside Nationwide Arena would be electric. Fans could gather in the arena, catch the game via the big screen on the parking garage across from the plaza. The entire area was built to be a celebration of professional sports in Columbus. We just need a reason for the city to celebrate. Hopefully, this iteration of the Blue Jackets can become the team to capture that magic. And I agree with everything that has been said I agree with everything that's been said in this article. It is truly one of the best articles I've read recently. It perfectly captures what the Blue Jackets have meant to Columbus. What used to be a awful area is now the best area in Columbus. As this article has said, if you're in Columbus, the downtown arena district, that's the place to be. Restaurants, bars, stores, hotels, the Blue Jackets, the Crew, the Clippers. There's always something going on. This is the place to be. The Blue Jackets really came to Columbus, and it really changed Columbus for the better. I have a lot more to say about this, but I want to get Hefty Duck in here and what he has to say about this article and stuff.
Well, it's a fantastic article by Union and Blue, and just to cite them a little bit further, real quick, they are at Union and Blue on X, and the website is unionandblue.com, where you can find this article. Check it out yourself. But yeah, no, it's I was reading this article earlier, and it kind of struck me that it's weird that how big of a role in this, like, because I always think, yeah, it's Nationwide Arena. You see the Nationwide building like right where you drive into like Columbus, and you can see it from pretty far away. Like the one that's next to it, like the big office building. But I never really like thought about how much that Progressive, an insurance company, had to do with Columbus getting a hockey team and bringing hockey to Central Ohio. That's low key really cool. I mean, this is not an ad for them at all, but it was just really weird to me. I never really thought about it too much. But yeah, going from it to being a dilapidated, rundown building, the old Ohio Penitentiary, to what it is now has been a pretty crazy journey, realistically. Obviously, that was like 30 plus years ago. So, a lot can change that amount of time and whatnot. I remember going to Columbus as a kid for like basketball state games, stuff like that. And I remember there not being much around that area because we'd go through there, I believe, to be on the Schottenstein. But I just remember, now, like the article says, you can go there any day of the week. It's not even hockey season, and you can go get a nice meal, have some fun, go out with some friends. Now, when you're there in season, and mind you, St. Patrick's Day falls during the season, and if it falls on the same night of a game and a Columbus Crew game, it can get pretty insane down there. It was such a cool night. Went and met up with some friends over at oh shoot, I forget what the bar was. It's literally you walk out Nationwide towards like the parking garage area, and it's like take a left and take a right, and it's down the street a little bit. But anyway, fantastic little bar down there. But right when I got out of Nationwide, Lowe's Arena was letting out too.
Yeah.
And they had won. Both Columbus teams had won that night. So the atmosphere was just crazy. And then you have the extra traffic from St. Patty's Day. Like, it kind of swept me away because I've been in like Cleveland games like where like it's been a sea of people like that too. And that's pretty neat. It's not quite the same vibe. I've said it before a couple times, and I'm not trying to dog on Cleveland as a city or anything, but I tend to feel safer in most parts of Columbus a little more than I do in Cleveland. To be fair, more so even Akron, but and like I said, not digging on the city. I've just I've been around that area late at night, and yeah, maybe some unsavory characters.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
So
yeah, that's
I
about what I got. I saw you had a nice tweet
yeah
coming in earlier.
yeah. So check out our show's Twitter page. You should check that out. So I responded to that article that Union and Blue posted, and I said this. The downtown arena district in Columbus that you know and love, with the Blue Jackets crew, clippers, bars, restaurants, stores, etc. happens because of the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets coming to Columbus changed. Let's see. The Blue Jackets coming to Columbus changed Columbus forever in a good way. The Blue Jackets brought legitimacy to Columbus, transformed bad area to an awesome area that started an economic boom that's now worth billions of dollars to Columbus and Ohio economy, which has led to Columbus being a city on the rise with an exploding population. Now Columbus is in the top 20 in population in America, and Columbus is now the biggest city in Ohio. The Blue Jackets are really that important to the development of Columbus. If there is a big event coming to Ohio, Columbus is the first choice. Sports, comic book convention, anime, political, etc. If a big name business is coming to Ohio, Columbus is now their first choice. From an outsider perspective, Columbus had a cow town image with an only Ohio State to offer. The Blue Jackets coming to Columbus changed that forever. Now Columbus has so much to offer. Downtown Columbus is the place to be in Columbus because of the Blue Jackets coming to Columbus. Awesome article by @Union and Blue. People should read this article. And it got over 7,000 views, 4 retweets, 56 likes, 4 bookmarks, and 4 comments. So pretty good there. So the Blue Jackets really coming to Columbus really did change Columbus forever. Because before that, you're more likely than not, you're probably only going there for Ohio State. That's it. And yes, the crew and the Clippers existed back then. It's no disrespect to you, but from an outsider perspective, the truth is you were probably going to Columbus for Ohio State. And the Columbus Chill Factor book talks about this. When you would try and push to try and get a professional team to come to Columbus, there was a mindset that many people have. It's like, we don't need that. We have Ohio State, which is okay, fine. But then those same types of people complained that Columbus wasn't, there's so many opportunities that Columbus could have gotten, but they didn't. It went to Cincinnati. It went to Cleveland. Because at that point in time, those cities had a much better setup than what Columbus did. But the Blue Jackets coming to Columbus changed it forever. It's not just an Ohio State town anymore. There's the Blue Jackets, there's the crew and the Clippers. There's, like we said, there's so much to do. There's so much going on. An economic boom that's worth billions of dollars to Columbus and state economy. All that started because just one sports team coming to town, the Blue Jackets. Everything that you love about downtown Columbus is because of the Blue Jackets. It started a chain reaction to where the Blue Jackets come and then other businesses look at it and go, hey, wait a minute, this is a nice area. We should put our businesses here. And then you get bars, and then you get restaurants, and then you get hotels, and then you get stores. And then the Clippers, they had an old stadium you know, outside of Columbus, on the outskirts. Cooper Stadium. It was a dump. Like the game itself when you're there is fun, but it was a dump. And so the Clippers, they say, hey, wait a minute, this arena district area, this is a nice area. We should have a stadium there. And they get one. And the Crew, again, the stadium that they played at for 20 plus years, it was good enough. It got the job done. But it was bare bones and it just, average at best. And, area compared to downtown, not exactly the greatest. And so the Crew, they say, you know what? This downtown area, that looks nice. Let's have a stadium there. Because, the Blue Jackets have a stadium there and the Clippers do and all this other fun stuff you can do. And so the Crew are down there. Now, all of this fun stuff happens because of the Blue Jackets. One action of the Blue Jackets coming to Columbus starts an economic boom that changes the area forever. To where now this is the area that you want to go to if you're in Columbus. No questions asked. There's always something going on there. That is how important that the Blue Jackets are to Columbus. And because of the Blue Jackets coming to Columbus, you get all these big time events now that are coming to Columbus, from sports to, the anime, political, comic book conventions. If, any sort of big name event, if they're picking Ohio, they're going to Columbus first. It's the same thing with all these big name businesses. If they're coming to Ohio, they're picking Columbus. The Blue Jackets are really that important to the development of Columbus. The Blue Jackets are one of the greatest things to ever happen to Columbus. It gave Columbus legitimacy. I like Ohio State. But if that's all you have to offer, you're not going very far in the world. People will go somewhere else. But now it's like, oh, wait a minute. I can do Ohio State. I can do the Crew. I can do the Clippers. I can do this. I can do that. I can, all these bars and restaurants and stores. I can go to a Blue Jackets game. It's that much important. The Blue Jackets changed Columbus forever in a good way. Without the Blue Jackets, Columbus is probably still in the same spot where they view it as like some town, a cow town that's like in the middle of nowhere, like Columbus. Like, what's that? You don't really necessarily have that anymore because the Blue Jackets changed that. I take all my family and friends who live in Illinois to Columbus. They don't really know anything about it. But once they get there, they love it. They love going to, our bar and all the stuff in the arena district. And they love going to Blue Jackets games. And they want to go back and say, Kevin, when are you going back to Columbus? I want to come with. I'm going on a little rant here, but that's just how important the Blue Jackets are to Columbus. They changed Columbus forever in a good way. That would not have happened without the Blue Jackets. They are that important. The Blue Jackets are that important to Columbus.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with this a lot. Like, Ohio State definitely put Columbus on the map. Like, that's a huge name in sports in general, college sports especially. But I feel like now the Crew and the Blue Jackets are helping keeping it relevant a little more. Not
Yes.
that Ohio State's popularity is waning by any means, but specifically their football. I mean,
Yeah.
and not that I'm knocking on it, but if it's nice to have another option, especially for like a professional sport.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of college and youth athletics. I think that could be very important for many guys, men, women, who it can help you through college. It can help pay for your schooling. It could be your next step before you go to a major league of some sort. But this is a major league. This is the National Hockey League. This is the MLS. I'm throwing Lowe's.com arena in there too. Is that what they call it?
Lower.com.
Lower.com. Whoa, that's definitely different than Lowe's. But yeah, and I guess maybe I don't know. I'm a big fan of the image of Nationwide and of what the organization as a whole is doing there. Uh, maybe at first, like some of their designs were maybe a product of their time, so to speak. Some of the earlier Blue Jackets designs that are nostalgic, maybe not, but in my opinion, the new modern ones are just a better look.
Yeah.
And I like seeing the constant improvement because when the team in these past few seasons wasn't doing too hot, there was one thing you could still rely on, that you could go to a game and have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly, why we see so many. So there's a couple main reasons why we see so many Red Wings and so many Penguins fans at games when we play them. One, both those teams were around a lot longer than the Blue Jackets. So people who were hockey fans in Ohio generally chose one of the two,
Mm-hmm.
unless you were way down south or something. But so I get it. I get it. We see those. You still suck for wearing that jersey at a home game.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
shame on you. But I get it. But also looking at like just hearing from other fans, hearing from other friends who've been to around arenas around the league, um, Nationwide still feels very modern, very new.
Right.
Nothing in there feels like it's like, oh, it's like the paint's peeling or the rafters are rusting or something like that.
Yeah.
And there are some arenas out there like that. Some teams have been around for a lot longer than Blue Jackets, and I think maybe that's been a blessing for them too in some cases.
Yep.
Being a younger team, it's not, the
Yeah.
building's not that old.
Yep.
But then seeing them make improvements like this offseason, they just were
New
redoing the
road.
roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that just shows they care. And I've been not necessarily like I've been kind of behind the scenes at there too, and like everything behind the scenes is still very, very nice and well kept. Like you literally, there's not a dirty corner in that building. It seems.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've I'm not gonna go over my worst experience at Nationwide ever because it's not the Nationwide Arena's fault. It was the It was just the person. They
Yeah.
didn't do
Right.
anything like mean or anything. It just was disgusting. But so big fan of the arena. Like I said, I mean, leaving there late at night. Sometimes I'd be there a little bit late when I was like doing some reporting on games and stuff like that. I'd be there
Yeah.
like after everyone left,
Yeah.
and then even still leaving out, I feel fine walking in my car. I don't
Right.
feel like
No.
paranoid
That,
looking over my shoulder or
no.
nothing.
That's so true. There's been so many times over the years where I go to Columbus, I see the Blue Jackets play, and the game's over, and I usually hang out for a little bit by the Cannon area and talk to some of my Columbus friends, and then usually after usually after that, depending on how it is, sometimes they sometimes they kick you out, and sometimes they don't. I've just found that how that's interesting how it works out. I guess it just kind of
Um,
depends on the day and everything
It
and how.
depends on what's gonna go on after the game sometimes too.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like occasionally they'll have like a beer league or like some sort of other like adult league hockey game in there afterwards.
Yeah.
Oftentimes they'll have those in the ice house too, but they've had them in there. There's also sometimes people host like private events and maybe we're getting like a just for instance, some friends of mine did like a photo shoot there after games like
Yeah.
that. So you know, um,
Right.
maybe that's reasons.
But
Just
but
depends.
but like the reason I bring that because like you're you go to a game, the game's over, you hang out with some of my Columbus friends, you talk a little bit, and sometimes they kick you out right away, and sometimes they don't. But even after that, you leave, and it's kind of late at night, and you can just take your time walking back to your hotel. I've done that many times where you leave, you're outside, you're in downtown Columbus and you just take your time walking back to your hotel because it's not an issue. You don't have to worry about that sort of stuff. You know, I live in the Chicago area, in the suburbs, and unfortunately, this you can't have that in Chicago. It's you got to be careful on where you are there because some of the areas there are awful and they're not very safe. A lot of drugs and gangs and just people just being stupid and shooting each other. You just have to be careful with that. And there's just some places where it's like, I want to go there because it's fun, but I just don't want to get risk getting shot at or something because someone's going to do something stupid. That's the unfortunate reality of some of these areas. I've never really had that feeling with Columbus, and I've been going to games in Columbus since 2009.
There's areas, but it's not the arena district. There's definitely some areas where I would not like. I'm a grown man. I'm not gonna do stupid shit. But there's a couple areas in Columbus, but
I'm talking about just being downtown right by the arena. I've never had that feeling. I've never had that feeling. You can walk back to your hotel and you can take your time getting there. You don't feel like that you have to hurry and rush there because someone might do something stupid. You don't have to worry about that. That's just not a thing. And another thing is with the whole arena district is that because it's so good, Detroit and Buffalo have sent guys to represent them to go down there and look at that area so that they can try and mimic what the Blue Jackets have and get their own version of that. Like I've read an article about that. I think it was like Aaron Portzline he wrote years ago. Basically, there's multiple things, but basically saying that, yeah, Detroit and Buffalo sent some representatives down to Columbus to go check out the arena district so then they can have an idea what it's like and try and get an idea to have something like that for their own. It's just that good. And the Blue Jackets outdoor game, that's another example of Columbus getting an awesome event because the Blue Jackets came to Columbus. That never would have happened without the Blue Jackets. You got a hockey game at Ohio State, 94,000 plus. That sets a record for, second highest attended hockey game ever. That sets records for the most watched outdoor game since 2019. That doesn't happen without the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets coming to Columbus is so important to the development of Columbus. They matter that much economically and so much more. They would not have gotten the events that they would have gotten without the Blue Jackets coming to Columbus. So much legitimacy. And I like Ohio State, but the truth is you're called Ohio State Buckeyes. You're not called Columbus Buckeyes. So that if you didn't know that Ohio State's from Columbus, you just assume it's somewhere in Ohio. But the Blue Jackets are called Columbus Blue Jackets. Much like the Crew and the Clippers, they are the teams that are really representing Columbus because they have Columbus in their names. Oh, Columbus, Ohio, I get it. There's just so much important. There's just so much legitimacy, so much, just how much importance, the uttermost importance that the Blue Jackets coming to Columbus meant. That much. And it's forever going to change Columbus forever in so many positive ways.
Yeah, it's definitely been a blessing to the area. I like that you said Cowtown earlier because that was one of the nicknames it's been called in the past. Just cracks me up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Next up, we're going to go on to our next big part of the show, which is some of our favorite ZACH WERENSKI moments from this past season. ZACH WERENSKI. He's always been a good defenseman for the Blue Jackets. He has. Good on offense, good on defense, power play, penalty kill, everything you could want from a defenseman, he does, and he does it good. But this season, for whatever reason, we don't know why, but for whatever reason, he really stepped it up. He took it to a whole new level. 23 goals, 82 points. He's playing like 20, 30 minutes a night like it's nothing. The dude was just a horse. A moose, that just the stamina of like a moose. A horse just kept going like it was nothing. When most guys wouldn't be able to do that. You play some guys 20, 30 minutes a night and they're done. They're going to need a break. That's not Zach Werenski. The Blue Jackets essentially all season long, just 20, 30 minutes a night. Just go out there. And he did it. And it was like nothing. And this is also the season where Zach Werenski really shined in terms of national attention. He's always been a good player. And if you like the Blue Jackets, you know that. And to a certain degree, if you follow hockey, you know that Zach Werenski is a good hockey player. But from a general outsider perspective, you know about Zach Werenski. You know he's a good player, but you don't necessarily know how good he actually is. This is the season where he took it to a whole new level and where now everyone knows how good Zach Werenski is. His play was so good that not just the Columbus media was talking about him, that everyone in the hockey world was talking about him. And then he plays for Team USA, the Four Nations hockey tournament, and plays outstanding there and gets more attention. And now everyone times like 10 is talking about Zach Werenski. Oh my God, look at Zach Werenski. Awesome player. The Blue Jackets have a good one. He's so good. And it's like, yeah, welcome to the club. We knew that before, but we're glad you're paying attention. Welcome to the club. Come on in. And then that's not all. Zach Werenski went on a heater point-wise from like the month of like November till like March. Ridiculously good. 20, I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but it was at least 20, over 20 something, to the point to where he did it to like the last guy I want to say did it. The last guy, what he did was like in the 80s. Like ridiculously good. And then he plays in obviously, the Blue Jackets playing the outdoor game. And that's another moment where he shined, where you have the hockey world paying attention to you in an outdoor game at Ohio State, national media everywhere. And the whole world is watching this this game is being broadcasted all over the world. Everyone's paying attention to you and you shine. People come away from that game. Oh, wow. Zach Werenski's awesome. He played a good game there. And then there's just moments where Zach Werenski just took the team and put him on his back, and where he just take over a game. There would be games that the Blue Jackets would win. A big reason why was because of Zach Werenski. Whether that be he made a big defensive play, whether that mean he made a big play on offense, or that be a goal, or he made an awesome pass to help set up a goal. He blocked a big shot. He did this or that. Zach Werenski really stepped it up and took it to a whole new level. And now I'm just wondering, what's he got now? What's he going to do next? This upcoming season, what's he going to do? How is he going to build on that? Because as interesting and crazy as it may sound, as good as he was, he has the potential to be even better than that. I recently saw, it was a post on Twitter. It's like over or under 82 points. And you read the comments, and most, even from people who don't like the Blue Jackets, most people think it's over. They think he's going to be that good. So shout out to you, Zach Werenski, you've always been a good player for the Blue Jackets, but this season, you really stepped it up became an even better player. I'm excited and interested to see where you go from here and how you continue all this positive momentum that you build. So I've kind of gotten a little heater here, so we'll get Hefty Duck in here.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's obvious if anyone's watched the show in the past like 3 years that we're big Werensky fans, always have been huge fans. So, and one thing I'd like to note about Zach Werensky is, he had this like personal record-breaking season, franchise record-breaking season, and throughout it all, he's a very like stand-up guy outside the rink as well. Like this last season, he was the CBJ Foundation Community MVP as well. He does a lot of work, visitation with like kids stuff, and just a great guy on and off the ice, especially this past season, doing so much in memory of Johnny Gaudreau as well. I'll have a little bit of a clip later, kind of highlighting that too. But Norris Trophy finalist, absolute monster out there. And it's so funny because I seen a clip of him with like Bar Down the other week, like a week or two ago, where he was playing golf with them, and just his demeanor and the way he talks, he seems like a fun dude to like hang around, be around. But oftentimes when I see him, I always think of him as very stoic, and
Right.
sometimes like when you do then when you do see him fired up, it's like, oh, holy shit.
Right.
He can be a scary dude. He's just such a friendly seeming person outside the rink, and like I said, a very stoic feeling. But huge props to him for this last season. I mean, even going back to that time where he got hit in the face and still played, right?
Right.
And he ended up having to miss the remainder of the season in, what was it, like 2017, 2016, 2017. But through thick and thin, even these past few years, where maybe the stats weren't the greatest, it was always someone to watch out for, always an all-star, and as a Blue Jackets fan who's watched them not do too well, it's been great to have someone like Werenski where you can really lean on, like rely on that person. That's like him and Boone Jenner too. I mean, I'm not knocking anyone else on the team. This is just our Zach Werenski episode, but just a solid brick in the foundation for this team.
So I have a couple Zach Werenski clips to show, and the first one I'm going to show just shows how much of a difference that Zach Werenski can be for the Blue Jackets, because this particular play, the Blue Jackets are playing the Blues. They're up 3-1 in the third period. And this just shows how important Zach Werenski can be for the Blue Jackets, because he's going to make a good the puck is in the Blue Jackets defensive zone. Werenski's going to make a good defensive play to take the puck away from this Blues player. He's then going to make a pass where he rims it around the boards, and then it's going to find Fantilli, and Fantilli's going to shoot and score. That level of just smarts and hockey IQ of knowing how to read a play, make a good defensive play, and then take that next step of, okay, where does the puck have to go, and make that play. Just truly awesome. So we're going to play that clip. So as you see right there, Werenski, he's going to hit the guy, Boom, you get a little whack. Then puck's going to pop loose. He's going to make a play. Now watch. He's going to pass the puck. It's going to bank off the boards, and it's going right to Fantilli. And look at this. Fantilli, basically, he's wide open, and he's going to shoot and score. That play happens because Werenski starts the play by putting a little hit on the dude, a little bump that helps get the puck loose. He gets it, and then he's able with his hockey IQ to read what's the next play. And the next play in that scenario is just quickly get it out of the defensive zone and pass it to, hopefully you're passing it to, hopefully someone gets there. In this case, Fantilli gets it, and it's just awesome. So what are your thoughts on this play here, Hefty Duck?
Good looking out. It goes to show that he's a very good playmaker. It's interesting to see such an offensive-minded defenseman. And having that forward look, and seeing him develop chemistry with the younger players like that too, because it's like, yeah, Werenski had to see him there available, but at the same time, like, look where as soon as Fantilli sees it go back, he's like, oh, okay, Zach Werenski's got it. He's not going to lose it.
Yeah.
So I better get open. And the trust you can just put in that Werenski is going to hold on to that puck, and even if they like forecheck him hard and get up on him, like, I don't know what my dog's barking about. Sorry if y'all can hear that, but he's just being a little shit right now. But yeah, and if not to forget that Werenski was also a first round pick.
Right.
If Fantilli develops similar to Werenski, man, we're gonna have a crazy pair on our hands for a while. I mean, they need to extend both their contracts like as soon as possible.
And like I said earlier, but I want to highlight this again. Its play starts in the defensive zone. Werenski kind of gives him a little bump that pops the puck loose. It goes to Fabro, and then he's able to make a little defensive play, and then that goes to Werenski, and then again, it's some guys just can't do this, to have the wherewithal, to have the hockey IQ to make the good defensive play, to get the puck to pop loose, and then able to read the play and understand, okay, what's the next step? I made a good defensive play to help pop the puck loose. Now what's the next step? Okay, you know what? I'm going to make a pass along the boards and get it to Fantilli. Not everyone can do that, but a guy like Zach Werenski, he can.
They pop the puck loose 10 times fast.
Yeah. So he pops the puck loose, Werenski, boom, and quick pass, Fantilli, shoot, score. So overall, pretty good hockey IQ there from Zach Werenski. Makes a good defensive play to start the play. Makes a good pass play to Fantilli, and Fantilli finishes it.
It was perfect the way he stayed on sides just long enough to get the puck and everything.
So now I'm going to show our next clip that it shows that while, yes, Zach Werenski is a defenseman and he is good at defense and he makes good defensive plays like the one in the clip we just showed, but he's also good at offense, and the dude can shoot the puck. And I'm going to show a clip that shows a perfect example of his awesome shooting abilities. So here's the. All right, Blue Jackets are up 2-1 in the second period against the Seattle Kraken. And this is Blue Jackets are going to get the puck in their offensive zone, and it's just going to be a good just good bang play where good teamwork, win a puck battle along the boards, get the puck, and then it just bang, get the puck to Werenski, and Werenski with his awesome shot just snipes it, just blows it past the goalie. Puck in the offensive zone. Okay, so we're going to pause here. Marchenko's going to get it, going to win a board battle. He's going to think he's going to get it to Voronkov. Back to Marchenko, Voronkov, and then to Fantilli, and then Fantilli's going to pass it to Werenski, and Werenski's going to shoot and score. So right there, go Marchenko to Voronkov to Fantilli, and right here, Fantilli kind of looks like he's going to shoot it. So it kind of freezes these guys right here. And at the last moment, Fantilli is going to pass it over to Werenski, and then Werenski, using his awesome shooting ability, is just going to blow it past the goalie.
He's got a very hard shot.
He does. And it's just an awesome play there by the Blue Jackets. So what you thinking here, Hefty Doug?
Let me talk about this while I'm kind of watching it here.
Yeah.
Once again, old reliable. Who was it that passed it there? Was that Marchenko? Fantilli.
So it started off to Marchenko to Voronkov and Fantilli. Marchenko, Voronkov, and Fantilli. And right here, look, it looks like Fantilli, he's going to shoot it. So then it kind of draws these guys in. And then at the last moment, quickly passes it over to Werenski, and then Werenski uses his awesome shot and just blows it by the goalie. No chance.
Yeah, and not to necessarily dog on anyone, any other defenders on the Blue Jackets, but like that's the thing I think only ZACH WERENSKI or a talented forward could do. The way he catches it on his stick and immediately pulls back for the shot.
Yes.
Here we'll see it happen in real time again. Boom, pass out, pass over, catch, boom, shot. And that was a hard pass. When you see it in slow motion, it looks like a hard pass. And he just has, it's so crazy to see someone like cradle a pass so softly and then shoot it so freaking hard. Absolutely wonderful goal from Z himself.
Boom. No, you're right though, because oftentimes guys get the puck and they settle it down, and then maybe they take a second, dust it off, and then maybe they take a second or two to like look at the net to see what are their options. And that's okay. You can do that. You can still get away with that. You can still score goals that way, but you're just making it harder on yourself to do that because you're giving more time for the defense and the goalie to get over to your spot. But if you can do what ZACH WERENSKI does, which is he gets the pass, and as soon as he gets that pass, he's immediately shooting it, your chances of scoring a goal just went up big time because you're not giving the defense that extra second or two to get over to your side. When you just get the puck and you just quickly shoot it, you make it that much harder on the defense.
Yeah, and like I said, like not dogging on anybody, I just don't see Sivo Provorov quite doing that, and very talented dudes.
Damon Severson, he's the goal. Some of the goals he scored with the Blue Jackets is like a slap shot where he just blows it past them. That's what he's done. But like, we'll pause it here. So like you see that Werenski shoots, and look, it's already, by the time the goalie's reacting, it's too late. The puck's in the net. That's a big difference, that just being able to just get the puck and just shoot it, compared to had he had just gotten the puck, settle it down, and then shot it. But because he didn't do that, you get the puck and you quickly shoot it, it's already in the net, and it's too late for the goalie. No chance. Like,
so smooth.
Like, look at that. the goalie's already reacting, and it's too late. The puck's already in the net. Too late. All because what Werenski's doing is just you get the puck and you shoot. That's it. But like you said, not everyone can do that. Some guys they can't, but Werenski can. He's the type of guy where he can get the puck and shoot it. So
sick. What's the next one you got?
we have this. So this one shows another, just Werenski's, I guess you could say, hockey IQ ability and kind of shooting ability. It's a little bit of both, but I think it's more hockey IQ, which is this. So it's this right here. So I'm going to put it up on the screen, which is the Blue Jackets are playing Buffalo. It's in October, and I was at this game, actually. Adam Fantilli is going to be the one that scores the goal on this particular clip. So the Blue Jackets are up 2-1 in the second period over Buffalo. They're going to get it in the offensive zone. The Sabres try to get the puck out. They can't. And here's Werenski. He's up high. And some guys, they probably would have passed it because they say, oh, there's really nothing there. I shoot it. There's kind of a lot of guys in front of the net. It's probably not going to get through. I'll pass it to someone else. See if we can get a better option. ZACH Werenski, he doesn't do that. Another option, another way. So, no, we'll back to that. ZACH Werenski doesn't do that. He's another way to show that he's good is that he has good hockey IQ and he's able to understand that, hey, if I get this puck through, either I score or the goalie stops it and then we can score on a rebound. He's really good at that type of thing, or he just quickly gets it on net. And this is exactly what happens here, is that Werenski is going to read the play and he's going to quickly get it on net. You're not necessarily shooting to score. You're shooting just to get it on net and hope something good happens. And that's exactly what happens here is Werenski shoots up high by the point. It gets stopped by the goalie. And then we're at Adam Fantilli. He's going to sneak over here and he's going to shoot and score on the rebound because no one is paying attention to him. Everyone is paying attention up in this area up by ZACH Werenski. So here we go. Werenski up high by the point, and he's just going to, most people right here would probably pass it. Not going to shoot it. Oh, it's probably not going to get through. But ZACH Werenski has the hockey IQ to understand that, hey, if I get this through, we could score a goal here. And that's what happens. Boom, puck pops loose. There's Adam Fantilli, shoots and scores. And that play right there just shows another example of ZACH Werenski's awesome hockey IQ. So what you thinking here, Afty Doc?
Yeah, no. What I like at I'm gonna wait for the clip to restart because there's something at the beginning I want to talk about real quick. So here, as soon as the puck's up in that right zone, so Werenski's drifting to the center, and as soon as he sees that mashup, that puck go up, he's already moving before the pass is made.
Yeah.
He's already getting in position, and that's one thing that you can teach. He had a whole season off not that long ago, or most of a season off because when he hurt his shoulder, and every single game he was up in the press box watching.
Yes.
And I think that's in some ways because his skill is already so highly developed, getting that different view, that different look of development,
Yeah.
in some ways may have helped his, just his positioning in general.
Yeah.
He's a very smart player. Every now and then, like if there's like a scramble down around the net, you might see him scramble a little bit, but rarely do you see him like having to go like turn around and go back over his shoulder, so to speak.
Right.
So this is what I like about him moving out here already, and go ahead and continue it from here. Um, yeah, could have passed it back up top, but um, knowing that he didn't launch this as hard as he could, it doesn't look like,
No.
but he launched a kind of a lob that it, predictably was going to bank off him. That should be one. Realistically, who's in net for them? He should have had it. He
Yeah.
should have gloved it at the first. I don't know why he let it deflect off there, but still a solid idea, and seeing that come to light, because you can see as soon as he shoots that, boom, he is Fantilli is already turning towards the net. He's already turned towards the net before. I like that he can read Werenski really well. I mentioned this in the last clip too. The chemistry between those two is great, and maybe a little bit of it. I don't know if the coach has remained the same at Michigan since both of them were playing or not, but just being in that system
Yep.
and being taught the similar ways when they were younger and having
Yeah.
certain habits,
Yep.
it's like they don't always like have to look at each other, or they sense things.
Right.
So it's a great clip to kind of showcase that. I like it.
Right. And we'll pause it right here because I want to show this. But like he said, Wierenski shoots, Fantilli, he already knows, all right here, and the puck's gonna pop loose, and I'm gonna shoot and score. And it's just perfect hockey IQ on his part because Fantilli understands that no one is paying attention to him. Everyone is paying attention to this side of the ice up towards Werenski. And as soon as Wierenski shoots that, Fantilli understands, hey, I'm in a little quiet area. I'm going to quickly go over there, sneak in there. No one's going to know I'm there. And I'm going to, puck's going to pop loose and then I'm going to shoot and score. So overall, good hockey IQ play by both ZACH Werenski and Adam Fantilli. So we'll let this one finish out here. Then I have one little highlight package that the Blue Jackets did for ZACH Werenski that I thought was cool that we're gonna play.
I got one little clip as well. And
all right,
dog's just up there barking his little head off.
I get that with my brother's dog Cooper. He starts barking at something and he just keeps going.
It's probably the squirrels in the back.
Yeah. So let's see here. Oh, it's right. So we're gonna go. Where's the full screen? Okay, full screen, right? Okay, so there's music in this, so that's why we're gonna playing it with the sound. But there's a little highlight package that the Blue Jackets put together. Overall, really cool video that the Blue Jackets put together. I really like this. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. What you thinking here, Hefty Duck?
I don't mean to bring the mood down a little bit here, but I mean it's hard to watch this and not just think what would have been with Johnny Gaudreau around this last year too.
That's
And,
right.
You know, him and Werenski were pretty tight, and that's what I'm going to bring up next. Is actually,
Yeah.
but and man, what a killer year!
It was
I love that they really promote Werenski because he deserves it. I
He does.
mean,
Yep.
I definitely whatever goes on when Boone Jenner's near the end of his contract, like if not that I ever want Boone to go away or not be captain, but it happens with everyone. Happened with Nick Foligno and everyone else before that.
Yeah.
I think Zach Werenski would be up for that position. The experience, the skill necessary, and
So
yeah, that's dope.
yeah, so that's and another thing that Werenski, he's over his career with the Blue Jackets, like he's a guy that talks, but he's more of a quiet dude. But this year is really the year where he really took a step up and became a more vocal leader. In part because, well, it was kind of forced onto him, not like he had a choice in that matter. Because, well, Boone Jenner and Erica Branson get hurt, and those are your more vocal leader guys, your captain and your other alternate captain, the guys who are more the public image, more vocal leaders for the Blue Jackets. But when they got hurt, essentially kind of got forced upon Zach Werenski to the point where he had to be the more vocal leader. And he really did a real good job with that. He really stepped up, became a good vocal leader, not just for himself, but for the Blue Jackets and his teammates, and really stepped it up, considering the fact that generally speaking, he's more of a quiet guy. So for him to do that and step outside his, I guess what you would call what he's normally known for, his, I guess maybe something, but maybe a more uncomfortable for him to be a more talkative guy to do that, which he did. It was awesome. And he did a great job with that and became an even better leader for the Blue Jackets. And I have no doubts that, once Boone Jenner's done playing for the Blue Jackets, that Zach Werenski is going to be the guy that will be the next captain for the Blue Jackets.
Hell yeah.
So let's see here. Oh, Heartsy's commented. So he says Werenski was robbed of the Norris. Yes, he was. Good comment, Heartsy. And yeah, a little. There's that. You got Werenski. But no, Heartsy is right. Friend of the show, Heartsy, good friend Heartsy. He's right. Werenski was robbed. I get it. Kyle McCarr's really good and he deserves it, but I think he should have gotten it, considering the fact of knowing what Werenski had to work with. And, McCarr was already on a really good team, and it's not to discredit him, but, I think he could have made the argument for Werenski, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. So, here's my clip that I like to share. This is from the Bar Down account on X, Twitter. And this is from the World Championship this last year. I don't know why it's not going full screen, but anyway, I think I got it muted. Nope, I sure don't. So once again, just for copyright protection. So this is after USA won gold, and immediately after receiving the medal, Zach Werenski runs the locker room to grab Johnny Gaudreau's jersey. Team USA had made a jersey for Johnny Gaudreau, and I believe had like a locker for him or something as well. And just the whole team celebrated him. There's another clip of when they're in the locker room and they're giving they had like a beanie or a toque that they were giving out for like the MVP, much like the Kepi for the Blue Jackets or other teams do similar stuff. and Zach Wierenski was given it. And it's just it's great to see them paying their respects. Because of course Johnny Gaudreau would have been there, one of the league's top players, and just once again, stand-up guy, shows he's not always thinking of himself, if rarely ever thinking of himself, and just love to see it.
Yeah. So,
oops.
Oh boy, music, yikes.
It's like a split second. Watch, I get an email right now.
I know. Anyways, all right, so I'm gonna go on a little, heater here. So here we have a Tennessee Volunteers football fan making fun of the bathrooms at the Shoe. I guess the joke is that the Shoe has horrible bad bathrooms and Tennessee has good bathrooms. It's like, okay, fine, I get what you're trying to say there, but sit your ass down, because one, Ohio State smoked your ass 42-17 when Ohio State played Tennessee. So shut up. You have no room to talk. Also, of course, the bathrooms are terrible at the Shoe. The Shoe is really old. It's like 100+ years old. So of course, the whole bathroom things and other facilities at the Shoe is not going to be very good, because the Shoe is very old. So this isn't the own that you think it is. Okay, you just know. And on top of that, try going to the bathroom at the Blue Jackets outdoor game. I did. It was awful. The lines were horrible. I looked at the lines and I said, screw it. I'm not doing this. It's way too long. I would have missed a good chunk of the game. And you know what? The Shoe, as cool as it is, as iconic as it is, great place to see a game, whether that be Ohio State or the Blue Jackets. The bathrooms are old, and that's a drawback. But I need this Tennessee fan here to just shut up. Sit your ass down. Shut up. You have no room to talk. Ohio State smoked your ass 42-17. You have no room to talk. And this bathroom thing, I know it's a joke, but it's not the own that you think it is. Because if that's what you're going to rip on Ohio State for, it's weak. I don't know. If you want to rip on Ohio State, maybe actually beat them when you had the chance to do that, when you played them, but you didn't. Ohio State smoked your ass 42-17, so sit down and shut up.
There's really only one team that can kind of poke this fun at Ohio State, and they deserve it. And unfortunately, that's Michigan.
Yes, Michigan is really...
Don't crucify me. I'm just a messenger.
No, it's true. Michigan is the only team right now that can talk trash to Ohio State because they've won 4 in a row. Because unfortunately, Ryan Day just kind of shits the bed against Michigan, which I don't get, because he's good against every other team, but he sucks against Michigan. I just don't get it. But Michigan is the only team that can be talking shit right now to Ohio State. Anyone else, just shut up. You have no room to talk, because Ohio State, more other than Michigan, smoked your ass. So shut up. No room to talk. All right. Anything else to say, or should I just move on here? I think I've done a pretty good job.
The shitty troughs are tradition,
Yeah.
They could at least put us like sort of divider or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It's just kind of shitty, but yeah, that's all I got. Bathrooms, not a national championship.
That's true. Your team didn't win the national championship. Ohio State did. So shut up. Go Bucks. Anyways,
that's all I got.
Anyways, we're continuing on to our next part of the show, which is showing what we normally do, is showing off some hockey jersey concepts that people have for the Blue Jackets. first off, from I saw this on Instagram from Balco Creative and Justin Browley on Instagram. This is their little take on the Blue Jackets outdoor game jersey. As you can tell, it's basically what the Blue Jackets outdoor game jersey was. They just made some minor changes to it. The minor changes is that they put some silver with the little red towards the bottom of the jersey, and then they changed the striping pattern from just silver to silver with the little red. And then they changed the collar to not just red, but red with the little silver.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I like this.
So I like this. So what you thinking here, Hefty Duck?
I like too that there's obviously I want the Blue Jackets to have blue uniforms. That's why we don't try to talk about that one reverse retro very much. But it does feel like there's a lot of red in here, which to me is fine.
Yeah.
Because especially if this is trying to be that outdoor game kind of vibe, because the scarlet and gray is there's a reason that they're using silver and not the white that's like on the jersey you're wearing.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot, and everything else is pretty solid here. I would have put an extra stripe. This is so picky, I know, but I would put an extra stripe in the socks, just to match the sleeves. So because there's 2 there and 3 on the sleeves, but that's I love the whole thing. This is good, like 9 out of 10. I would like to have seen some cannon patches on the shoulders, instead of both being the CBJ hockey stick one is all.
Yeah. But all right, on to the next one. Again, it's basically a white version of it's their take of a white version of the Blue Jackets outdoor game jersey. So white jersey, the cannon logo from the outdoor game, and then the captain's patch with the state of Ohio on it from the outdoor game. They changed the colors of the CBJ logo from the outdoor game. As you can see on the blue jersey, it's silver and white. On the white jersey, it's blue and red. The collar obviously is different. It's white with a little blue and a little red. Blue numbers outlined in red. The name on the jersey is in blue. The striping pattern is like silver and red. And there's like a little touch of blue there too. So overall, this is pretty cool too, and I like this one.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this. So just to reiterate this for the audio listeners. So the sleeves on this jersey, it's more set up as an away jersey with being white, but the sleeves have like the top half above the stripes is dark, union blue, and then the more towards the wrist part is white. Now with the socks, once again, I'm picking on the socks too. The white is on top and the blue is on the bottom. I would have liked to see that with the sleeves as well, and it just because it feels a little bit odd, with the blue being up there, so like connected, like the white feels disconnected from the white. There is all, and I think it would because it would look cool with the gloves, like going into the gloves, going with the scarlet gray stripes, blue gloves. But yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah. So on to the next one. So this is also on Instagram. Alan.swoops.media on Instagram. Basically doing different versions of the Blue Jackets kind of third jersey concept. So, as we know, normally the Blue Jackets, their jersey is dark blue, light blue. They changes that to more blue, red, white. Different striping pattern. He puts a star on the sleeve. The normal Blue Jackets logo is on the shoulders. Cannon shoulder patch is now on the main logo. We have like a little white jersey here. It's a similar style where Canon logo on the front, flag logo on the shoulder patch. Kind of got that third jersey style striping, but with blue, red, white, star on the sleeves. Pretty good. And this is essentially like a inverted third jersey because you're taking the cream, the vintage looking white, you're making that as the main color. And then now you have, instead of a silver, you have like the dark blue, the white, and the light blue as the striping, dark blue shoulders. Looks like the numbers are like dark blue outlined in light blue. And then he played around with the logo and gave it slightly different colors.
So I'm both a fan of this and but I have some critiques on this. The top two, specifically the away version, feels like a New York Rangers uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of same thing with the other one. And so I do, to a certain point, I like that classic vibe, but it I think the white here, the white striping specifically, maybe not the one that's going across the body on the home one, but the white striping, I think that the Blue Jackets did really well by making some of that striping silver.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes it feel like a New York jersey. If around the sleeves and maybe around the stomach striping there, or the waist striping, maybe if that was silver instead of white.
Yeah.
Because there should be silver in the cannon, it looks like. So that would at least match that. It would be a little bit more out there, and it would feel a little less like copying someone else's homework. But I do like these. I'm a fan of that. I don't know what use case you'd have for like the third away jersey. But maybe for like, the away team for an outdoor game or something. But
yeah. I think this is my thinking on that jersey right there, is that if you get picked to play it in an outdoor game and like the theme is like kind of like a old school game with like an old timey look, like a Civil War sort of thing, this would be perfect for that because it kind of has that old school looking like Civil War kind of feel when you look at it.
right, like a lot of I'm just assuming because I wasn't there and I don't know how, but I'm assuming that there was like not quite as much like bleached white, like super white, stark white clothing.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Cotton's white, so
Yeah.
wouldn't know on it, but I don't know. This is my thought too. I like that kind of like cream color off white.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Would be
What
cool
else
to
they
see.
got? Okay, this is just a close up of the other jerseys. So that's the home. That's the away. And the third. So okay.
Interesting.
That's cool. And then we got one more. So like this, we were just talking about like if you were in a kind of old school looking jersey and that's the vibe is like an old school hockey game sort of thing, outdoor hockey. When I look at that, I think of that. It kind of has that old school looking outdoor hockey game feel when I look at it.
Yeah, it definitely does. So just to describe for our audio listeners here real quick, dark blue jersey, total dark blue around the whole thing. Canon logo in the middle. It's got red and white striping with a stripe in the middle that's dark blue with stars in it around the elbows and the waist. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's a lot. And the more I kind of look at it, the more I think this is actually pretty sick. I like it. The only thing I wish there was maybe like something going on up in like the top chest area. And obviously too, maybe they don't have all the patches. Yeah, right. Maybe something like that. Maybe like around the collar, because like the red and white around the collar really helps kind of divide that up a bit. And maybe the cuff link too. Just like a red stripe or white stripe, or something along that lines. because otherwise it feels a tiny bit empty without the patches up
Yeah.
top as well too. But overall, I would buy one of these. This would be a cool sweater.
Yeah. I will say this, of course, I pointed to the jersey I'm wearing. This is a Reebok, what Reebok did with the Blue Jackets jersey. And it's mostly blue, but where they did what helps it make it stand out is up top by the collar. It's a white stripe and a red stripe that really stands out. Like you can, I'll zoom in so you can see it, but like you can like really see it. It helps stand out, and then it kind of goes on like the shoulders, and it kind of goes all the way down the sleeve. But that little like really bright red and white striping really helps the jersey stand out and help break up some of the blue. So I could see what you're getting at there, Hefty Duck. If you had a little red, a little white up top, that could really help break up some of the blue and help make it stand out more.
Yeah, and even the Fanatics jersey, or at least the one I got a few years ago, that's hanging up behind me. That's what I keep looking at. It has just a red stripe around the cuff and then a red stripe around the neck too. Just even something like that, just to But once again, like you mentioned, it gives it more of the old school vibe to it, because a lot of more old school ones were one solid color with like a few stripes. It wasn't as much like trim detail and all like the little details they have now.
Right. So, all right, next up. Oh, that's the back. That's the back of the jersey. So
they got Gaudreau's number on there for anyone listening.
Yeah. Oops. I think, so it's a good jersey, but I think I like the back better. Because
because it has it breaks it up with that red and white a little bit more.
Yep.
Just to have something in there,
That red and white really does make the difference there. Let's see here. Okay, that's it for our hockey jersey concepts for the day. We're going to move on to our next thing, which is I saw this on Instagram from Mike SCRABONIA. Scrabonia. We're going to go with that. If I screwed your name up, sorry, Mike. But anyways, so
it looks like.
But anyways, this Mike guy had a cool little drone footage of the Blue Jackets outdoor game, and we're going to play it.
A lot of tradition in this building. They're going to do it today in front of 90,000. There's no roof to blow off here, but it'll be rocking, Leafs. Let's go. Buckle up.
Damn, he's got a nice camera. Is he in the media booth?
All right, one drop, boys. Stay here. All right.
Wow, this is such a cool edit. It's so trippy how like it zooms out and then the time like went forward.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, Jackson!
Who they got mic'd up?
Hey, shift over. Take care of that bumper. They're going to sling lots of pucks to the paint. Okay?
He's the assistant coach for the Blue Jackets, I think. It's such a cool edit. Definitely, if you get a chance, go check it out. Mike Sedona.
Let's go! Let's go, boys, hey! Woo!
So this is a pretty cool video. I saw this and I had to share this. So what you thinking here, Hefty Duck?
No, this is pretty sick. I love how like the creative media behind it. Like I'm trying to describe it too. Like that's why I'm really encouraging people to, like, if you're listening, to go check this out on your own too, because it's so hard to see the transition. He like does it in the middle of like the zooming. Like the zooming's really in and out is really fast, and it'll like jump ahead like uh, into the game and stuff like that. It's so cool. Um, really gives you the sense of like being there and looking around. You know, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And then you get the little close up view of right there, Fantilli dropping with the face off, and then the ref dropping the puck. It's cool. You get a little shot of the crowd during the game. We get a guy cheering on the Blue Jackets. That's cool. And then you get a shot of like the bench during the game, like the coaches talking to the Blue Jackets. And that's cool. And then you get a live action of like, what was it like when Justin Danforth scored the goal there? And you can tell he scores the goal, and then the crowd goes crazy. Everyone's jumping up and down. You see the Ohio State band going crazy, celebrating. It's just awesome. Just awesome drone video of what it was like the day of the Blue Jackets outdoor game. Is awesome.
Pretty sick.
It was just wow. Just awesome. Next up, I'm gonna share this a little teaser. We could be having someone come on to talk about the Columbus Warriors hockey program. Not guaranteed yet, but could be having someone come on to talk about this. But what Columbus Warriors hockey is, I think it's cool and you should check it out. Which is Columbus Hockey Warrior registration is open if you are a honorable discharged veteran, active duty service member, revisit, or Gold Star family member, spouse, child, or parent. You are eligible for participation in our program. This includes our stick and puck sessions, drop-in hockey sessions, monthly meetups, and adult recreational hockey teams throughout the Chiller Ice Leagues, Chiller Ice Rink Leagues. If you are an honorable discharge and disabled veteran or Purple Heart recipient, you are eligible to join our Warrior team. This team will participate in a sanctioned USA hockey events under the Warrior discipline or disabled hockey, which is dedicated to injured and disabled U.S. military veterans. In addition to these events, the Warrior team will also have opportunities to play in the exhibition games with other Warrior programs. Visit our website to register today, www.columbuswarriorshockey.org. So this is pretty cool. It's cool to see we have a hockey organization that is doing stuff for people in the military or people of military families. So that's you. You should probably check that out. And TJ No Car is the guy behind this. It's one of my Columbus friends, and I'm trying to get him to come on the show to talk about this. So this may or may not happen. He's interested, but we got to work something out. So this may or may not happen. So if it does, that's cool. And a little preview of what we're maybe talking about in a future show.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Anything else to say about that, Hefty Duck?
No, just check it out. I think that there's if you scroll down that post a little bit, it says those interested in supporting our organization, telling veterans you know about us and helping us grow to our community is the best kind of support. If you'd like to take this support further, please consider donating via, does that say Zephy, to help us fund our programs. There's a link there. Try to find them on Facebook to follow that link. I don't want to try to like say the whole thing out loud. You would have to rewind it a million times to type it out. So that's pretty awesome. I'd love to see it. I'm a big fan of sled hockey. And
that's right. So that's that. I'm gonna quickly look through my bookmarks here to see if there's anything else that I wanted to share. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay, we'll post this. So I saw this recently on Twitter. This is a cool picture of Adam Fantilli after the Blue Jackets outdoor game, giving a little. Of course, the Blue Jackets won the game 5-3. And here's a little Adam Fantilli walking back to the locker room and giving everyone like a little high five as he walks by. So pretty cool picture here.
It's cool.
So
it was pretty weird for him being at the stadium.
Well, he's been there multiple times now because, of course, the Blue Jackets had a get-together at an Ohio State football game before the season started last season, so he was there. And, hey, he can say something that not many other people can do, is that he scored a goal there. He scored a goal there. Adam Fantilli scored a goal playing at a hockey game at Ohio State. The Blue Jackets won that game 5-3. He scored the 5th goal, emptying that goal into the net. A pass from, I think it was ZACH WERENSKI. ZACH WERENSKI or Boone Jenner passed him the puck, and then Fantilli got the puck and he shot it and scored. But so, and then that just makes another kind of cool, funny thing to this is, you got some people, most people for the most part, they understand that the whole Ohio State and Michigan thing has nothing to do with the Blue Jackets, and some people can't get it through their head, and they let their anti-Michigan bias get in their way, and it's cringe. I get it. I like Ohio State. I don't like Michigan, but two separate things. You got to learn to separate that. Most people are able to do that. But when they do, people do it. They have fun with it. It's in good nature. It's not bad. And here we have a guy, Adam Fantilli, who played hockey at Michigan, is playing a hockey game at Ohio State, and he scored a goal at Ohio State. And let it be known that it is the Michigan guys that helped the Blue Jackets win a hockey game at Ohio State. Kent Johnson had a big assist on the Dmitry Voronkov goal. So did ZACH WERENSKI. Obviously, Fantilli with the goal. That I just, fine. The Michigan men helped the Blue Jackets win a hockey game at Ohio State. So there. So there's that. We're gonna do one more time to see if there's anything else in. The bookmarks. Okay, you know what? We'll do this. So, Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith is going to Penn State, and we now know what number he's going to wear. He's going to wear number 7. So, when Penn State comes to town and plays Ohio State, go get some tickets and see Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith play and look for number 7. So that's cool. Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith will wear number 7 at Penn State. So,
oh yeah, good luck to you this next year, Jackson Smith.
That's right. Let's see here. Do we have anything else? I'm looking through my bookmarks. Do we have anything else?
I don't really have a whole ton at the moment.
No, I don't think no.
So I do have something I want to talk about next week. So I got to do a little more research on it.
Yeah.
So just to give you a little teaser, there's a contract coming up that should be signed very soon. So we're gonna take I'm gonna take an in-depth look at the stats of Adam Fantilli, and give a breakdown of per dollar what he's doing and comparing that per dollar to someone else, probably either on the team or something like that. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out for that.
That is another thing that's come out recently, is that the Blue Jackets are now in the process of negotiating a contract for Adam Fantilli. That has happened. So, and then the big thing is, okay, what do you do with that? Do you do a long-term deal? Do you do a short-term deal? Or do you do like a somewhere in the middle? That's the question. Of course, there are risks to every single one of those. That's just,
And you can imagine they're gonna be looking for like a long term.
yeah, that's just,
They mean him and his agent.
right. So,
I'll be talking a bit more about that next week.
No, so the risk, because I'm gonna we'll put an Adam Fantilli picture up there, but it could go either way. So the short-term deal, in some ways, it's more smarter because, this is no disrespect to Adam Fantilli, but every player goes through this. He's only played 2 seasons, and as good as he's been really good. He really hasn't done a lot. And for some teams, they view that as, okay, we're not ready to give you a long-term contract with bigger money yet. Here's a shorter term deal. Show us what you got. If you do good, then we'll give you the bigger deal, which in some ways is beneficial. The flip side of that is, if it all works out, then he becomes more expensive, and you just cost yourself more money. The other side of that coin is maybe you do somewhere in the middle. It's not short term, it's not long term, but you have him for a little bit more, maybe a little bit more money, but it's not as bad. Because even if the contracts, even if he's not doing very good, it's like you're not completely stuck with it, and it's not as bad. Or on the flip side, it's like, oh man, we have him for 4 years, and how much? Oh man, what a bargain. It's the same thing. You give him a long-term deal, and it could backfire, or like in some hypothetical scenario, let's say you give him an 8-year, $7 million deal, and he could play bad, and like, oh crap, we're stuck with this long-term contract. No one's going to want that. Just bad. On the flip side of that, you could give him like an 8-year deal, and it could be worth like $8 million. And you're like, man, he's playing so good right now. And you have him for $8 million. Oh my goodness. What a bargain. What a bargain, where, realistically, he should be getting 9 or 10 million, and you're paying him 8. There are pros and cons to every situation to where this potentially could go for Adam Fantilli. And it's just going to be interesting to see how this goes and what kind of contract that they give to Adam Fantilli. I know you had something you want to put up on the screen there.
Oh, no, actually, I'm going to save that for next week when we delve a little bit deeper into this. And if something happens between now and next week, then hell yeah, we have something to report about, and we can talk about how good it is or how bad it is or whatever people think.
Somewhere in the middle.
Probably all right. Good.
So, all right. I think, let's about it, right? That's probably, no, actually, I'll put this up on the screen. In other news, Kirill Marchenko has a cat now.
Nice.
So, Kirill Marchenko has a cat now. So,
it's a hell of a cat tree they're putting up there. I'm assuming it's like on the ground sideways.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't know.
So,
it's hilarious. Nice.
Kirill Marchenko,
another cat already or something?
Yeah, it's the same cat.
Oh, okay. Thing's so small. I like the stripes on it.
Yeah. So, I guess that's what Kirill Marchenko is doing with his off season is, besides hanging out in Russia, he got a cat. So, that's cool. So, Kirill Marchenko now has a cat. So there's that. All right. So I think that's basically it we got for now. We'll say our stuff and we'll get out of here. Like it says up on the screen that Hefty Duck put up there, follow us on our Twitter page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please tell your family. Please tell your friends. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be greatly appreciated. And as I always do, got to give a shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. I wish you were still here. Unfortunately, you're not. Died back in last September. I love talking hockey with you. And I could just, get your take on how you thought the Blackhawks season went, because you're a big Blackhawks guy. The Blue Jackets became a second team for you, and I appreciate that. And, I gave you a Blue Jackets hat that I got at a game back in January of 2020, and I gave it to you. And you wore that hat a lot, especially at your cooking job. You'd wear that hat and you'd tell me that it was a big hit among your fellow coworkers. Your cooking coworkers would say, "What's that hat?" And you'd be like, "Oh, it's a Blue Jackets hat, a hockey team. My nephew gave this to me." And you say that, "Oh, and you tell me that your coworkers loved it." And so that was cool. And I was wanting to know if you were still here, how you thought the Blackhawks season went, and did you like their draft? And if they made any moves in free agency, did you like that? And then I would share my viewpoint on how I thought the Blue Jackets season went and how their draft went and any moves they've made in free agency and so much more. So I love seeing you at family get-togethers and parties and Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter and so much more. And I love talking hockey with you. So I wish you're still here, but you're not. So shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. Thank you for everything.
Rest in peace, Uncle Doc.
All right. So last couple things for me, and then Hefty Duck will say his things, and then we'll get out of here, which is I promoted it earlier on in the show, and I'm going to promote it again. Check out the annual march that Union Blue Soldiers does. It will be on Monday, October 13th, 2025, starting at our bar, 6 o'clock p.m. This is the event that you do not want to miss. This is the best of the best. If you're looking for something to do before the Blue Jackets home opener that is not associated with the Blue Jackets, because the Blue Jackets, they do the blue carpet where you can see the Blue Jackets players. You can reach out your hand and they'll touch it. You can take pictures, and like Stinger is there, and there's like a plaza party with like music and stuff. It's really cool. I've done it. It's fun. But if you're looking for something different, this is the event to go to. Join your fellow Blue Jackets fans for the annual march hosted by the Union Blue Soldiers. We are marching on to Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets. This is the event you don't want to miss. You want to go to this event. We usually get about, let's say, 100 people, 50 to 100 people that show up. So join your fellow Blue Jackets fans for the annual march that Union Blue Soldiers is doing on Monday, October 13th, 2025, 6 o'clock p.m., starting at R Bar, and gonna play just a little video that we have from different marches that we've had. Now, knowing my luck, the sound on my computer is crapped out, so you won't be able to hear the loud chants of, let's go Jackets during the march, but I'm still going to play it anyways, just so that you get, the idea about what the march is about. So, here we go. I'm going to turn this up so, here's the video. As you can see, we got lots of Blue Jackets fans coming together to march on to Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets. We do chants of CBJ and Let's Go Jackets. We've had it be on TV. That's Clay Hall from ABC 6 News. He put it on TV in October of 2019. It was a lot of fun. We've had Stinger show up to our marches. I'll back this up so you can see it. Ooh, look, there it is. There's Stinger. Stinger showed up to our marches. People from the Blue Jackets games, like the people who throw like the t-shirts into the crowd. They've shown up. That you never know who's going to show up. This is a lot of fun. This is the event that you want to go to. So one last time, join Union Blue Soldiers for their annual March of the Union Army on Monday, October 13th, 2025, starting at R Bar and ending at Nationwide Arena, 6 o'clock p.m. We are marching on to Nationwide Arena to cheer on the Blue Jackets. See you there. CBJ! 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 Let's go, Jackets! Let's go, Jackets!
Hell yeah.
And then, oh boy. And then, one last thing for me. Don't forget to, we're gonna stop sharing this. Don't forget to, check out Uni Blue Soldiers. Check out Uni Blue Soldiers. Check out Uni Blue Soldiers. Check out Uni Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. Check out Uni Blue Soldiers. So, check out Uni Blue Soldiers. All right, so that's it for me. We'll let Hefty Duck. He's going to say some things he wants to say, and then we'll get out of here.
Oh, yeah. Well, a huge shout out to all of our audio listeners. Once again, you guys have been pretty awesome this year. If you too would like to listen to us maybe on your way to work or something, or at work, just check us out anywhere you can find podcasts. You can find the Brew Jackets podcast on Spotify, Apple, Google, or anywhere else that, for the most part. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on all of our social medias, YouTube and Twitter mostly. We are on Facebook. You have to search the Brew Jackets. We have our official Facebook is different than the original one we had. We somehow don't have access to that one. So the one that we have now is called the Brew Jackets podcast. There's a space between brew and jackets. So make sure you check that out if you get a chance. And otherwise, we'll be back here same time, same day next week. It'll be 7 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, August 17th. We're pretty much like we talked about last week. We don't stop. Even if the news is a little bit slow, we got some fun stuff to talk about. So tune in next week. We'll be talking a little bit about Adam Fantilli and maybe some other fun stuff as well. But until then,